Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing an eyeshadow palette and just eyeshadow declutter. I really need to go through all of my eyeshadows and just get rid of a whole bunch of them. I've had some of them for way too long and they need to go in the trash. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. That's why I'm in a little bit of a different setup, because I'm going to be going through these drawers and getting rid of all of my old eyeshadow palettes. Now my eyeshadow palettes and my face palettes are in the same drawer, but I'm not going to declutter my face palettes. I'm just going to do my eyeshadows. But so yeah, if you guys want to see me declutter all my eyeshadows, then just keep on watching. Okay, so these three drawers right here are kind of like the general area where I keep my smaller eyeshadow palettes. I do have a drawer below here that I'll show you guys later on that has some bigger palettes that couldn't fit in these drawers. So right here I kind of just have mainly palettes. In here I have single shadows. And then in this one I have some quads and smaller palettes. So first we're going to start off with the single shadows, because I never use single eyeshadows and I should really get rid of all of them, but I don't have the heart to do that, so I'm going to do my best. So I actually have a little... Ooh, making a lot of noise. I have one of these little like eyeshadow holders and I love this thing so much. Those eyeshadows right there are more like my favorite ones, so I'll go through that after, but I'm going to go through these ones right here. The first one I have is this Maybelline Champagne Fizz eyeshadow. Now this one, I don't know if I have the heart to get rid of, because I've just had it for so long and like it's what started my whole makeup thing. So I think I'm going to hold on to this one just for memory purposes, but so yeah, I'm going to hold on to this one. The next one I have is this Too Faced eyeshadow, single eyeshadow. This is also really old. The color is super pretty. I don't really think I'm going to be using it anytime soon, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. The next thing I have is this Sally Girl single eyeshadow. Now I got this because it's a super unique color. Like I don't have anything like this in my collection, but I haven't reached for it in a while, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. I have this Laura Geller shadow and liner duo. I've never once used this. It's just not something that fascinates me. I don't really like eyeshadows that touch each other for some reason. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. I have this single eyeshadow from Nomad that I actually got when I went to Ipsy. So I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to this because I haven't had much time to play around with it. I have this Coastal Scents Revealed Smoky eyeshadow sampler. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this because I do not use it and don't have any intentions to anytime soon. The next eyeshadow I have is this e.l.f. single shadow. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this because I have not used this and I don't know how long. It's probably super old. The next eyeshadow I have is from Catrice. Looks like this. I'm gonna hold on to this because I also did receive this in Ipsy and haven't really got to try it that much yet. The next eyeshadow I have is from Prescriptives, and my mom actually gave me this because it used to be her favorite eyeshadow like back in the day, and they don't make this anymore. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and declutter this because it is really old and I won't use it. The next eyeshadow I have in here is the Jordana Baked eyeshadow. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this because I never really reach for it. The only time I reach for it is if I'm like doing like costume makeup or something. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. The next two shadows I have are from L'Oreal. These are the Infallible Paints Metallic eyeshadows. I'm going to hold on to these because as you can see I recently just got them at Target. So I'm going to hold on to them so I can test them out a little bit more. The next eyeshadows I have are the Essence Metal Glam eyeshadows. I'm going to go ahead and declutter all of these. I have not used them and I don't know how long. It's just, they're really pretty colors, but it's not something I use. I used to use them a lot, but I'm going to go ahead and get rid of them. The next eyeshadows I have are from NARS. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to these because I recently picked them up at TJ Maxx. And they're really gorgeous colors. So I'm going to go ahead and hold on to these. The next eyeshadows I have are from e.l.f. This is what they look like. They're just little like potted eyeshadows. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these because I do not use them whatsoever and they're really old. Now the next eyeshadow I have, this one's super hard to get rid of because it was like my absolute favorite color back in the day. This is from Lorac and Serenity, and I don't know, I really love this color. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this because it's super old and I haven't reached for it in a while, so there's no point in really keeping it. Now, the next eyeshadows I have are the one in this little compact thing here. Now, these I don't think I'm going to declutter, but I'm going to go through them anyways. I have a bunch of these Milani eyeshadows because I actually got them really cheap at Ocean State, and I was collecting them at some point. So I'm going to go ahead and go through these. Okay, I have this Milani shadow in the shade Bella Chiffon, and it's really pretty. I just swatched it, I wiped it off, but it's a super pretty color, so I'm actually going to hold on to that one. I have Bella Sand, if I can open it. I'm going to go ahead, or let me swatch it. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and declutter it because I have a lot of colors like this in my collection. I have this one in the shade Bella Cafe. I'm going to go ahead and declutter that because it's not something that really excites me anymore. It's just like kind of like a matte brown that I have in all my other collections, or all my other palettes. I have this Bella Ivory. I'm going to go ahead and declutter that because it's just your basic like eyeshadow plain color, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that one. I have the Bella Espresso. What do I want to do with that one? I'm going to go ahead and keep this one just because... Actually, no, I'm going to get rid of it. I don't have a good reason to keep it, so I'm going to get rid of this one. This next shade I have is Bella Copper. I'm 100% keeping this. It's such a gorgeous copper color, and I just can't let that go, so I'll keep that one. And the last shade I have is Bella Champagne, which is such a stunning color, so I'm definitely going to be keeping this one as well. So, believe it or not, I got rid of quite a bit of those. I didn't think I would, but realizing that they're quite neutral colors that I haven't really worn a whole ton, might as well get rid of them. The next eyeshadow I have is from ColourPop. This is in Girly. I'm not sure if they have this anymore, but I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this because I love this eyeshadow. It's one of my favorites. I'll actually put it here because I have some more eyeshadows that I want to put in there later. Next I have some L'Oreal Pressed Pigments. I'm going to go ahead and keep Amber Rush because that one's my absolute favorite. I'm also going to keep this green one in the shade Golden Emerald. It's such a gorgeous color. I have a Smoldering Plum, which I don't even think I've used. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Smoldering Plum because I will never use that. Or I haven't used it since I bought it. And then I have Liquid Diamond. I might hold on to this one because it's a really unique silver. I'm going to go ahead and keep this one. Next I have all my MAC single shadows. I have this one in the shade Dance Flowers Dance eyeshadow. This is from a certain collection, but I don't really know which collection it's from. I'm going to go ahead and keep it because I feel like I just recently got it and haven't used it yet. I have the shade Naked Lunch from MAC. 100% keeping that. It's one of my favorite colors. I have the shade Oh My Mocha. Just recently picked this up, so I'm definitely keeping the shade. And then next I have Fig 1, which I'm 100% keeping because I also just picked this one up. Okay, so this is what my single eyeshadow drawer looks like now. It is so empty and I cannot believe it, and it makes me feel so good getting rid of all those eyeshadows. So these are all the ones I'm keeping, and I might reorganize it a little bit better later on, but for now that's perfect. Now the next drawer, this drawer is super hard for me to declutter every time I do it, so I'm just going to go ahead and get this over with. So in here, like I said, I keep all my quads, my smaller palettes, that kind of stuff. All of these right here are my Smashbox they're little trios. So the photo edit eyeshadow trios. I'm gonna go ahead and keep all of these because I have been collecting them. Every time I find them at TJ Maxx, I go ahead and pick them up because they're literally the cutest thing, and I love the formula. They look like little camera lenses, so I'm going to be keeping all of these. I don't plan on decluttering any of those. So I'm gonna start. Let me start on this side. So behind all these Smashbox shadows, I have this single shadow from Sonia Kashuk. I'm gonna go ahead and, what do I want to do with this? I want to keep it because it has that cool tone color, but I don't remember the last time I used it. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this because I don't remember the last time I picked this up. I actually forgot I had it, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. Right here I have this eyeshadow from Julep. The only color I really use is this gold, but I have plenty of other palettes that have this gold in it. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. And sorry if I'm out of frame at all. My camera's so low and I'm trying to look at the product like up here, so don't mind that. The next eyeshadow I have is this e.l.f. in Christian Serenia. I am really bad at pronouncing stuff, so I'm probably butchering that. I'm going to go ahead and keep this because I just recently picked this up and haven't really tried it out too much yet. The next eyeshadows I have are these LA Colors eyeshadows. I'm going to go ahead and declutter these. I did buy them for a $1 video that I never did because I just never got around to doing it. The other day I did try these and I did not like them, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter these. I have this Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Palette. I'm going to go ahead and keep this because I love the colors in it and it's definitely something I reach for. The next palette I have is this RK by Kiss Dear Diary series palette. I'm going to go ahead and keep this because I haven't really tried it. I was going to do an RK by Kiss like full face tutorial. I never got around to doing it, but I'm going to go ahead and keep this eyeshadow palette because I have not really tried it yet. Alright, now moving on to this section here. I'm going to start back here. The first thing I have is this Wet n Wild little palette. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this because they actually don't even make it in this packaging anymore, and I don't even really use it. I've just been holding it on for memories, but I don't really need it, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter that. I have these NYC eyeshadows. I'm going to go ahead and declutter these because I don't remember the last time I used them, and I don't even know if they make them anymore, and all the stores that I go to don't even have NYC anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. The next eyeshadow I have is from Lancome. This is a quad. I'm going to go ahead and keep this because it actually used to be my grandmother's, so it's just, you know, really good memory to have of her because she's no longer here. So I like to keep any makeup that she bought me or that she used to have. I like to hold on to it and just keep it for memory. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that. Now the next eyeshadow palette I have is from Vegas Nay. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this. I haven't really played with it too much, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that. The next eyeshadow palette I have, I actually got in Portugal. It's by Winnie. I'm going to go ahead and keep this because I actually really like this palette. The eyeshadows aren't the best, but they're workable, and it's good for memories too because I did get this while I was in Portugal, so I'm going to go ahead and hold on to that. The next eyeshadow that I have is this duo from e.l.f. I feel like I just bought this and I haven't even... I'm going to go ahead and declutter this because I haven't even used it, so there's no sense in holding on to it. This next eyeshadow I have is from NYX. I'm definitely holding on to this because I love the shades in here. I'll show you once I open it. I love the shades in here. They're just stunning, and I'm definitely holding on to this. The next eyeshadow I have is from NYX. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this because it used to be my favorite palette and I just need to move on. I've never really used it. I used to use it a whole ton, but it just needs to go. The next palette I have is this LA Colors matte palette. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. I used it once and I never went back to it, so I'm just going to get rid of it. This next eyeshadow thing that I have is from Cargo. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this because I just recently picked it up. As you can see, it still has the plastic. And I haven't really tried it a whole ton, so I'm going to hold on to this one. This next thing I have is from Clinique. I'm going to go ahead and declutter it. I've been keeping it for this pink shade, and I haven't used it, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it because it's just wasting space. I have this PS eyeshadow. palette that I got from Primark. I'm definitely holding on to this. I love this eyeshadow palette. The colors in here are bomb and I just love it. So I'm definitely holding on to that. I have these Clinique little, I think these are quads. Yeah, these are quads and I keep holding on to them because I think I'm going to do a whole bunch of looks with them and I never actually do. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of them because they're just wasting space and it's just not worth keeping them. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these. Next, I have this e.l.f. eyeshadow palette. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this because I have not used it in so long. And I love the colors in here, but it's just not necessary to keep because I have a bunch of colors like this already in my collection. And lastly, I have all of these e.l.f. eyeshadows. What am I going to do with these? I used to use this all the time because of this orange. I'm going to go ahead and declutter these because I haven't used them in a while and they don't even make their packaging like this anymore. And if I do want these colors, I can go get them in the new packaging. There's no sense in keeping them. They're probably too old anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these. So this is my quads collection now, and I'm super proud of myself because it took me forever to get the courage to get rid of all that stuff. So I'm super excited about how it looks now. I have plenty of room for more products. So yeah, that's what it looks like. I'll show you what I got rid of so far. But yeah, I'm super excited. Sorry if the camera's a little bit shaky, I'm holding it up a little bit, but these are all the quads and single shadows that I'm going to be getting rid of. I'm super proud of myself for finally getting rid of all these because I've never used them and they're just wasting space for more makeup that I could be collecting. So those are all the single shadows and quads I'm getting rid of. Now let's move on to the palettes drawer. Okay, so now these palettes here are a little bit smaller than the ones I'm going to show you in the bigger drawer below. So let's start off with this one. This is the e.l.f. Mad for Matte eyeshadow palette. I'm going to go ahead and keep this because I just picked it up so I could give it a try. And so yeah, I'm going to keep this one. Next I have this BH Cosmetics Hollywood palette. They don't even make this anymore. I've had it for years. I'm going to go ahead and declutter it because it's just old and it just needs to go. Next I have this Pixie and It's Judy Time palette. I'm going to go ahead and keep this because I love it. The colors in here are gorgeous and I definitely get some good use out of it. Next I have this Ace Beauty palette. I got this in my Boxy Charm, I believe. I'm going to go ahead and keep this because I love the colors in it. Now this section here I don't really plan on getting rid of too much because I feel like I just did a declutter on this whole section, so if I don't get rid of a whole ton that's okay because I use palettes more than I use, for example, single shadows or quads. So if I keep these, it's alright, it's no big deal. Next I have the Anastasia Sculpture palette. Love this palette, it's just gorgeous, I love it. Next I have this Primark Soft Focus eyeshadow palette. I'm going to go ahead and keep this because I actually really like it. I only got it for like $7 and I did a Primark video which I'll put up wherever up top of a look I did using all Primark makeup and I use this palette and I actually really like it, so I'm going to go ahead and hang on to this. The next palette I have is this Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette. Definitely holding on to this. It's a staple in anyone's collection and the colors in here are just gorgeous. Next I have this Too Faced palette. It was like the ones where you got to decorate like yourself. I'm going to go ahead and keep this because I actually really like the shimmer shades and some of the neutrals, and then if I go on vacation I like to actually bring this with me because it has some pops of color that I can add to my look if I decide to. Next I have this Too Faced Naturally Matte palette. I use this palette all the time. As you can see, I love this shade, so I'm definitely keeping this. Next I have the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. Definitely keeping this. It's just the colors in here are just stunning and I love the formula. The next palette I have is this Morphe 9N palette, I think it is. Yeah, About Last Night 9N palette. Love this palette. This color right here is so pretty. Definitely holding on to this, especially because I just bought it and I'm still kind of testing it out, but so far I really like it. The next palette I have is this IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette. I did receive this from IT Cosmetics because I entered one of their contests. I don't know if it like went through, but they did a contest a while back ago and I received like a bunch of their products. I love this palette. I do take it with me wherever I go when it comes to like traveling, and I'm definitely gonna hold on to it for memory's sake because it was like the first like package I got from a company and I felt like a beauty guru, so I'm gonna keep this. The next palette I have, I absolutely love. This is the Profusions Royals palette. I'm in love with this palette. It's just amazing. I love it. I have the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. Definitely holding on to this because the Naked palettes are a staple. I have this Naked Smoky palette. I don't know if they make this anymore, but I'm going to hold on to it because I feel like I just got it. I actually got it last year for Christmas, I think. So I'm going to hold on to it because I really didn't play around with it as much as I'd like. Next, I have this Absolute Cosmetics Icon Mini palette. Definitely holding on to this. As you can see, I like those warm colors. I'm definitely holding on to this because I just got this in New York back in October. Next, I have this little palette here. What is this? I don't even know the name. That's the brand. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it because clearly I don't really use it and I don't even know what it's from. So I'm just going to get rid of that. Next, I have this eyeshadow compact from e.l.f. It's the Belle one. I low-key bought this because it has Belle on it, and Belle's my favorite princess, but I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it because I look like a child holding on to it, so this is going to go. Next, I have this e.l.f. Chromatic eyeshadow palette. I actually forgot I had this. I just bought it, too. Definitely holding on to this because I literally just picked it up. I have the Makeup Revolution Iconic Pro palette. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this because I have not really played around with it too much. Next, I have this Pretty Vulgar Nightingale eyeshadow palette. I did also receive this in my BoxyCharm. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to it because all I've done is swatched it. I haven't really used it on my eyes yet. Just because the only reason why I haven't really used it yet is because it's more cool tones, but I want to venture into some more cool tone colors, so I'm definitely going to hold on to it. Next, I have this e.l.f. palette, not e.l.f., Wet n Wild palette. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this because I don't really use it. It is a really nice palette, but I already have so many colors like this, there's no sense in holding on to it. The next palette I have is the CoverGirl True Naked Nudes palette. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this because I don't really use it. The shades in here are gorgeous. Like I said, I have a bunch of neutrals already. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. This Pixie palette, this is the Pixie and Duluth Candy collaboration. I'm going to go ahead and keep this because I just got this at Target on clearance. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that. Next, I have this Hard Candy palette. This is going. I don't like it at all. I used it on clients for a long time and it's just not good and it needs to go. So next I have this Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. I'm going to hold on to this because I haven't really touched it as much as I'd like. I don't know if they still make it, and I really shouldn't keep stuff that companies don't make anymore because if I use them in a video and you guys can't get it, I'd feel really bad. But I still want to play around with it because I haven't given it the love that it needs for how much money I spent on it, you know? And lastly, I have this Clinique palette. I'm going to go ahead and keep it because it actually has a lot of cool tones in it that I never thought I'd use. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this one. Okay, so I actually did a pretty good job on this, better than I thought I would, but now let's move on to the bigger palettes, which I don't anticipate on getting rid of anything, but let's just go ahead and take a look and make sure nothing is old and expired. Okay, so I tried to tilt the camera down as much as I could, but this is like a little dresser that I actually got from IKEA, and these are where I keep my bigger palettes that don't fit in these acrylic drawers. So let's start off to this side. This is a face palette, so we're not going to include that. But these next two palettes I have are from Glistening Beauty. They aren't really a super well-known brand, but I do support them. They are a smaller makeup line, and I love their shadows. This is the Azrian palette, I think is how you say it, and it has a lot of pretty bright colors. And then this is the Authority palette. So I'm definitely going to be holding on to these. The next palette I have is this Sephora like make your own palette. These have all my Coastal Scents shadows in it, and then these have all my MAC shadows, and then these are from Ciate, I think is how you say it. I got it in like a little advent calendar, so I'm definitely keeping this. Next I have this Pirates of the Caribbean palette. I think I'm going to be keeping this just for, this is going to sound really bad, but the Pirates of the Caribbean is like one of my favorite movies, and I really can't get rid of it for that reason. I know I have a problem, but the colors in here are actually really, really pretty, and I should use it a lot more than I do, but I'm going to go ahead and hold on to it because when it came out, I could not get my hands on it, and then it went on sale, and I finally got it, so I'm definitely keeping this. This next palette is a face palette, so that's not included. I have this Sigma Viper palette, definitely keeping this. The colors in here are so, so gorgeous. I have the Balm Meet Matte Timothy palette. I'm going to hold on to this because this was one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes, and it still is. I have this BH Cosmetics Carly Bible palette. I'm going to go ahead and keep this because I believe I actually ordered this online when it came out because I wanted it so, so bad, and I still really love it, so I'm going to go ahead and hold on to it. Next, I have this Park Ave Princess contour palette. I got this in BoxyCharm, definitely holding on to it. Oh, this is a face palette. I'm such an idiot. Never mind about that. The next palette I have is a face palette, so we're going to skip that. I have this Cargo Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. I'm going to go ahead and keep this because I just recently got it and haven't really tried it too much yet. I have this Solar Flare BH Cosmetics palette. Definitely holding on to it because it has some really unique colors that I could use for some of those like crazy looks that I do. So I'm definitely holding on to that one. I have this Clara Cosmetics palette. I'm going to go ahead and keep this because I actually really enjoy this palette for the price tag. I did get this at TJ Maxx, so it is kind of tricky to find, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it because I actually really like this palette. The next three palettes I'm definitely keeping. These are from Profusion. These are my absolute favorite palettes. I have the Sienna's palette, the Pro Pigment, and the Chocolates. Keeping all of these 100%. They're super affordable, and if I want to do any like drugstore looks, these palettes are perfect for that. Next, I have this Cosmo Collections palette. I actually got this when I went to a hair show in Philly, and the color, it looks like really cheesy and like kiddish, but the colors in here are actually like really, really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and hang on to it because I haven't really played around with it too much. I have swatched it, and the swatches are phenomenal. I think I paid like $5 for this or something ridiculous, but I'm going to go ahead and hold on to it. I have this Crown palette. This is the 35 Rose Gold palette. Definitely holding on to this. It's just a gorgeous staple palette. Okay, this next palette I have is a face palette, so we're going to be skipping that. I have some palettes back here. This is the Clinique, I don't even know what this is, Clinique All About Shadow palette. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this because I think I've used it like once or twice and I wasn't a huge fan, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. Next, I have the Evolve palette by Beauty Bay. 100% keeping this. I literally just bought it and I'm like, haven't really played with it actually. I swatched a few colors, but I haven't really done any eye looks with it yet, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it. Next, I have the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palette. 100% keeping this. I love Jaclyn Hill. She's awesome, and I could rave about her all day, so I'm definitely keeping this. And I didn't get this when it first launched. I actually got it months and months later. My boyfriend was like, you need to get that. Like, you need to have that. So I finally have my hands on it, so there's no way I'm getting rid of it anytime soon. Next, I have the famous Morphe and James Charles palette. Of course, I'm keeping this. There's no doubt about it. Oh, I forgot that was plastic. I have to keep that. I like to keep the plastic in here because it actually has all the shade names on it, so if I want to like tell you what shade to use if I use this palette in a tutorial, I like to keep this for that sake. But definitely keeping this palette is just, it's just amazing. Okay, I love this palette. And then lastly, this is a face palette, or a face like duo, so we're gonna go ahead and skip that. So that is everything. I only got rid of this many palettes. I only got rid of this many, but I knew I wasn't going to get rid of a whole ton because I love my eyeshadow palettes. I use them all the time, so yeah, that's all I got rid of for eyeshadow palettes, but pretty good declutter overall. Don't mind me, I'm kind of hunched down right now so I can be like in frame, but that completes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my declutter. Thanks for coming along with me. I got rid of a bunch of stuff. Most of it's going to be going into the trash only because I don't have anywhere to donate anything. If I do have something new, I usually give it to family members, but most of these eyeshadows are like really old, so they'll probably end up in the trash. But if they are new, I will give them to family members, or if I can find somewhere to donate them, I 100% will. It's just a matter of finding somewhere because I've done my research and there's nowhere in my area. I tried emailing a women's shelter and they never got back to me. So so yeah, that completes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up to see more declutter videos. I definitely have to declutter the rest of my makeup. As you can see, I have like a lip problem and like a face problem. Like I just have a problem with makeup in general. So if I could do more of these, that would be great. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, be sure to give it a thumbs up to see more declutter videos. Don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.